Yes, lads. There we go. Just want to make sure got everything right on here. And we take this away. Let's get a few people into the chat. Friday night live stream. Sorry that I haven't got one out earlier this week. It's been a hectic week this week. It's just been busy. So, we got comments in here already. Happy days. Let's go. Let's get a few people in here. We see where this takes us. I think was it JP? You said, "Am I watching the boxing?" I am. I have it on in the background. I'm just not doing the thing. I'm just not covering some of these fights. I might cover the main event. I'll watch Tommy Fury, but I ain't covering his fights because his are absolutely flipping ridiculous. And that's really it. So other than that, I try and get one of these live streams in once a week. So we got to get one in. And then we get one in on the weekend as well, as we always do, lads, as we always do. So big up to everyone in the chat so far. But in response to that, now, of course, I'm watching the boxing. There's boxing on. There's boxing to be done. I'll probably cover the Heffron Bentley fight because I reckon, just judging by the length they're saying it's going to go on till midnight. Judging by the length of this card, I'd say I'd be pretty all right to get this live stream probably finished by then. More than likely, anyway. More than likely. And yeah, once that card is done, I'll probably cover that fight. I mean, it's not an amazing card, like it has to be said, lads. It really isn't. But sure, look, we got to get by. We get by. So give me a sec. There we go. On camera. There we go. So, we got a few people. Let's see the chat. Of course, hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Rich, shout out. Big up G-Man. Brook getting knocked out. Right. I don't think he getting knocked out, but I ain't picking him to win the fight. I done a prediction video on that. Didn't upload it because it wasn't great. And it wasn't to do with the lighting. I just didn't like it. I listened back to it and I was like, meh. I don't want to upload a video if I don't think it's that good. Like if I'm listening to it and I'm like, it's not amazing, then I'm just like, well, what are the subs going to think? Are the subs going to like it? And I'm just like, do you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna. If I don't really like it, then I won't. Both Brook and Callum Smith getting KO'd. Well, Callum Smith, I mean, damn, he is gonna get lit. The body, it's his body that's gonna get lit up by Canelo. Like Callum Smith, so upright. Right now, he's not the slowest super middleweight in the world. You know, there are slower, but at world level and against like world level operators, compared to someone like a Canelo, he is as slow as molasses compared to someone like Canelo. That's just what I'm thinking. He's upright. His defense isn't amazing. I think that the World Boxing Super Series, that gassed Callum Smith. And I think it gassed the perception around him. Because if you think about it like this, right? You look at Alexander Usyk, right? He had an easy fight against Marco Huck because we all knew Marco Huck had seen better days by the time he fought Usyk. I mean, he was coming off a loss to... God, what's the guy's name? He was coming off a loss to Myris Bradis, right? He was coming off a loss to Myris Bradis. So then he goes in there and he fights Usyk and he gets stopped by Usyk. But at the time, like Marco Huck had seen better days a couple of years prior to that. So, you know, you looked at it, you thought, all right, well, fair enough. Look, you give him the win, but it is what it is, right? Then he goes in against Bradis. Close competitive fight. Look what Bradis has got on to achieve. So Bradis, that win looks better and better and better for Alexander Usyk because Bradis went on to win the next season of the World Boxing Super Series, right? Then he goes and fights Gassiev in the final. Looks very good in doing it. And Gassiev at the time, you could have said he was probably number 2 cruiserweight in the world. If he didn't have Bradis there, he was number 2. So he was beating the best guys who were there, right? The first fight that Callum Smith had, what was the guy? The Swedish heavyweight, the Swedish guy. Can't remember for the life of me. Can't remember his name. He was meant to fight Rocky Fielding before he had a bleed in the brain and sparring. I can't remember his name. He was Swedish. The name escapes me. I can't remember. If anyone knows, wants to put it in the comment section. He was a Swedish super middleweight. He suffered a bleed. He was meant to fight Callum Smith or Rocky Fielding on the Bellew Hay undercard. That was back when that fight was going to be on in December 2017. Can't remember the guy's name. But he fought Smith, done all right. Done all right against him. Then Smith was meant to fight Jürgen Bramer. Didn't get that fight in the end because Bramer, I think he pulled out with an injury or something. So he fought a kickboxer, and the kickboxer had some success. Can't remember his name either. So he fought he fought one guy who was, it was all right. Then he fought one guy on short notice, and then he fought George Groves coming off an injury. So, it wasn't great form, and like the super middleweight division in itself in that World Boxing Super Series was not great. Like it wasn't you didn't have the best in the division fight. Sort of way you didn't have the best of the best. You didn't have the cream of the crop. And the super middleweight division in hindsight wasn't amazing back then, but you didn't have guys like Jesse Hart. You didn't have guys like Ramirez. You didn't have just who else was around at the time in 2017, 2018, but you didn't have the best of the best in there. Whereas with cruiserweight, you did. So when Callum Smith won that, yeah, it was easy to say he's number one in the division, but like it's not a strong division, and B, he's really had he had to do what he had to do. He won it, but he had a very easy track to win in that World Boxing Super Series. It had to have been said. Long-winded, but that's my thoughts on the Callum Smith situation. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Yes. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Got to get that trending every single time. And G-Man not watching the boxing. I am watching, like literally it's on here behind me, or in front of me actually. But I will be watching that, but I'm just not covering any of the fights. And yes. Oh yeah, that's my own comment. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. I left them in there earlier. Yeah, we got Ben in here. We got Evening to Ben. Big up to Dan. Watch your latest video, lads. Yeah, watch Dan's latest video. I watched it earlier. And go and give Dan's channel a look at. Go and give his video a look at he done today. Good work Dan's been doing, man. Good work Dan's been doing. I wonder, did you ever watch that video I sent you a link to, Dan, of the guy from 2010? I think it was like Project Anglo-Saxon or someone like that. That was some fucked up. That was weird. That was some good shit there. Very good evening. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Of course. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Same with Bruce Lee. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. Is it on? It's BT Sport Fight Night. It's on now. I forget. I can't remember this guy's name, but I can see there's a fight on now in the background. I don't know. Won't comment. I probably won't commentate. I could easily do commentary. Or if I wanted to, I could easily commentate on some of this, but I ain't gonna do the commentary. No, but we got Lion Eye. Big up G-Man, follow from day one. See, there you go, right? I love reading comments like that where I've got because it's hard to tell sometimes who's been with me long and who hasn't. And I always love seeing subs who've been there since I was doing fucking shit videos. That's what they were. They were garbage back in the day when I started out. It was just me sitting with an iPhone, on the chair I do my videos in, right? I used to literally sit on that chair, have the iPhone kind of mounted on one of the arms, and just talk into the voice recorder. And that was it was shit because it used to sound terrible. It just, I didn't like it, just wasn't good. I couldn't edit properly. I'm still not the best editor in the world, to be fair, but I'm getting better. And now it's what are we at now in terms of subs? I'll just do a quick check where we at in terms of subs. All right, 2,921. So we are literally 79 subs. Yeah, maths wasn't great there. 79 subs off 3K. And I set myself a goal, right? I spoke to Ade on the phone back start of August, just after I hit 2K. And I was to him, I was mark my words. I said, I know with the way things have been going with, everything, with the growth of all our channels. I was mark my words, I'm hitting 3K by Christmas. I was mark my words, I'm hitting 3K by Christmas. I know it's going to happen. It's happening. We hitting 3K by Christmas. We could hit it by the end of November. That's what I'm thinking. And I was all down to one thing. And that, hashtag G-Man's Rocks. There you go. We'll leave it at that. Big up the Troll Network every single time. See, Troll Network uploaded a new video there. I'll watch it as soon as I finish up here, bro. But big up every single time to the Troll Network, You got Troll Network channel is funny as fuck. Some of the stuff he comes out with, some of the videos he's released have been funny as hell. As hell, man, right? Funny as hell. Billy, sup G-Man. Man, sup every time. Been a mad week of boxing. Yeah, the crazy world of boxing. I mean, I don't really mind, man. To me, right? Boxing is just, it's crazy. It's crazy that we have fights getting pulled and shit like that. But the fact that we have fights, I mean, man, it was it was rough during lockdown, right? I mean, during the peak of the lockdown. Now, fuck this lockdown. This isn't a lockdown, but the real height of the first lockdown, man, that was bad. With no boxing, with no anything. Right? We literally didn't have anything, right? With no boxing, no anything. Like I was fucking miserable outside of YouTube, and we literally nothing. Like you were literally talking about this fighter said this on Twitter. This fighter said this on Twitter. If it was genuinely, there was nothing to talk about. At least now we have. At least now we have this. At least now we've got boxing. Even if it's shit like Campbell and Garcia getting pushed back and shit like that. At least we have it. At least we're going to get to see it anyway. You're pissed off about that fight, Callum Smith. Yeah, it's not great. It could be all right, but I think that, like, look, Canelo, in my mind, right, in my opinion, was going to beat Billy Joe and Callum Smith, right? He beat them both, right? But Billy Joe would have caused Canelo a lot more problems than Callum Smith. I think that Callum Smith, he's just going to try and keep it at range, but he's just so, like, when you watch him against John Ryder and you see how easy John Ryder got under his shots, you're just thinking to yourself, and a little bit of movement, able to get him up against the ropes, hitting him to the body. You're just thinking, right, this is John Ryder. John Ryder's a good, very good fighter. No disrespect to him at all. But we're talking about, this is John Ryder and he's causing you problems, right? That's Canelo, right? He gonna fucking light you up like a bleeding Christmas tree is what he's gonna do. He's gonna light you up. So there, I was like, there's no way. There's no way he was. I can't see it. And as well as that, right, Callum Smith, people can say he's been taking over in the gym. He's a massive, massive super middleweight. All right, he's fucking massive. How he makes super middleweight, I don't know. I think that, like, unless he's been staying damn near on, like staying like damn near on point with weight, he's gonna struggle to make weight. Callum was lucky to, yeah, he lost that fight. He lost the fight. Man, Ben, he lost the fight. He lost the fucking fight. Terry O'Connor scored at 117, 111 to Callum Smith. Of course he did. Of course he did. Terry O'Connor. Oh, yeah. He scored at the Callum Smith. I just was like, you know what, right? It's like the judges in Britain sometimes, they really just... it was funny because I remember watching that Callum Smith fight. I was watching it at home, or I watched it here. I remember texting two of my friends, and I was both like, am I seeing things, or is John Ryder well ahead? And they're both were like, no, John Ryder's well ahead. But we all knew, we were like, he's not going to get the decision. Like, after about like 10 rounds, we were like, John Ryder should win this fight, shouldn't he? And everyone, all my friends I was texting were like, oh yeah, he should win this fight. But like, he's not going to get the decision. So we were just like, oh yeah, we know he's not going to get the decision. But you kind of have a little bit of hope there. But we all knew that he was never going to get the decision. Like, you can go, we were texting, I still have the text there, just like, oh yeah, Ryder's winning this fight. He's winning it. He's making Smith look terrible, but oh no, he's never going to get the decision. We knew that. Smith did lose to Ryder. That decision pissed me off. We're all used to it now. It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Like, it happens, Like, put it like this. I thought I know we're talking about women's boxing, but Katie Taylor, look at her last fight against Delphine Pursuit. She lost that fight, and one judge scored it like, what, 98 something? Yeah. Yeah, Caleb Plant is a good fighter. I think that he would cause Canelo some issues, definitely. He definitely caused Canelo some issues. He's good movement. He's big. Not the biggest puncher in the world, but he's good movement. But the problem with him is I don't think he can. He's a 12-round fighter, but I don't think he's got 12 rounds of stamina, if you know what I mean. Remember when he fought Uzcatsky? He was super early. The minute he started getting tired and going, like, the stamina kind of started draining a bit, that's when you noticed him having a few little issues there. We need an unofficial box rec we need an unofficial box rec to override corrupt decisions. Yeah, we do. We really, really do. I don't know. I don't know how you get around it, man. It's shit, like, but I don't know how you get around it. I really don't know how you get around it. Joe Gallagher reckons Callum Smith is pound for pound best in Britain. I'm not convinced. No, he's not. He's not better than... We'll put it like again, like I used the World Boxing Super Series as an example, right? Look at the ease Callum Smith had to win in his, right? Look at Josh Taylor by comparison, right? He fought, who was it? He fought Ivan? No, he fought that Ryan Taylor guy. Was that the guy's name? Ryan Taylor or something like that. He fought him in the first round. Didn't do shit. That Ryan Taylor guy. He was trained by Sanchez, by Abel Sanchez, but he didn't do anything. Right, give him that. Then he fought Baranchek. Baranchek's a decent fighter. Like, look at his fight against Jose Zepeda. World level fighter. It's fair to say. Like, and that shows how strong the 140-pound division is. Baranchek probably wouldn't pick him over most of the top guys at world level, but he's still better than like European guys and shit like that. Then he goes and fights Regis Prograis. Now, George Groves was a good champion, but he'd seen better days, right? He's seen much better days. Regis Prograis, even now, he's top 3 easily at 140. I think he's special, right? So you go and do, and I'm not just talking about, oh, his win's better than this. Look at the skill of Josh Taylor. Look at just what he does in the ring. Look how confident he is at mid-range, close range. You can box a bit on the outside as well, but just look at the movement. Josh Taylor is leagues ahead of Callum Smith. Joe Gallagher, he does a good job as a manager, right? In a sense of he bigs his fighters up, which he needs to do, and he should do. I mean, that's a manager's job at the end of the day. And he promotes fighters well because he puts shows on as well. He's put plenty of shows on, a little like small hall shows, like in hotels up there in Manchester, right? So he's done that. But you need to understand what he's doing as well is he's trying to get, and at the end of the day, Joe Gallagher, he needs to get paid too. So if he's managing these fighters, he's getting a cut of everything. So he's looking at these fighters like Callum Smith and thinking, well, Callum Smith's done this, therefore he deserves the moon, the stars, the earth, right? But he's probably just looking at that from his point of view, and he's not thinking, yeah, right, I get that. But Callum Smith, yeah, he's won a world title, he's won the World Boxing Super Series, I get that. But you bring him to any part of the UK other than Liverpool, is he going to sell? No. Does anyone really know who he is? No. Is he charismatic? Is he going to be, right, if he's not a draw, is he going to be, charming people? Is he going to be, bigging people up and shit? No. You put him on Soccer AM, it's just like, yeah, all right, yeah. It just does, he needs more than that, right? He needs a lot more than that. So when Joe Gallagher is bigging up all these fighters, like, he has to do it. Fair enough, he does have to do it, but he's asking way too much. I mean, imagine me, right? Imagine I'm managed by Joe Gallagher, right? I do what Mark and Dell want to do. I go over to Hungary, I fight a load of bums, I get 10-0, then I come out and I name me a middleweight, right? I call out fucking, that's Anthony Fowler, right? Say he's fighting a middleweight, right? I call him out. And then the next thing, I've got Joe Gallagher saying, yeah, yo, G's going to fight him. He's going to fight him. Yeah, he'll fight Anthony Fowler. Eddie Hearn offers me 10 grand. Joe Gallagher's like, whoa, 10 grand. He's undefeated. He's 10-0. He's got a YouTube channel. We won't take anything less than 50 grand. It's like, what's he done to earn fucking 50 grand? Well, and then the fight's gone. That's what Joe Gallagher does. He thinks maybe he's doing his fighter's best interest and he's trying to get more money, but he's doing a lot more damage than good, and he's pricing so many fighters, and so many fighters who can't really afford to be priced out. He's pricing them out. That's what he's doing. Sup, G man, let's go, champ. Saw your video on Callum Smith versus Canelo the other day. You think it's gonna happen? I can't see Smith taking the fight at such short notice. I can see Canelo cherry picking and taking an easy warm opponent. Right. Here's my stance on that, right? Well, they were talking about Caleb Plant, right? For some reason, I was just like, in my head, I was like, not that I don't want to see it, but I was just like, I just don't think we'll get that. I was like, I just don't think we're going to get that fight. I don't know why. It was just call it intuition or whatever you want to call it. I was just like, I don't think we'll get that fight. For whatever reason, I was like, I'm just not, I can't picture it. BoxRec had it. I mean, literally, if you went on to BoxRec a couple of days ago, because I just happened to go onto it, and it did, and I actually looked at Canelo. I just curiosity more, so I was just flicking through BoxRec, and I just happened to click on Canelo's, and they had it down. I don't forget, that didn't have a location, but they had it down that Saul Alvarez was fighting Caleb Plant on December 19th. So BoxRec were planning ahead. And I actually remember checking Twitter and all. I was like, is this official? And there was nothing on Twitter. So I was like, all right, BoxRec, just because BoxRec do that. Sometimes they put up fights well in advance, even though they might not happen. So then the next day, I literally wake up, and first thing I do is wake up in the morning, check Twitter. I was like, oh, Callum Smith. I think we might see it, right? I think we might very well see it. Would I be surprised? I have a better feeling about this. I have a better feeling about seeing this than I did for Callum Plant. Now, does that mean we'll get it? I don't know. Would I be shocked if they announced Canelo versus Avni Yildirim? Of course not. Of course I wouldn't be shocked, because I've stopped being shocked by Canelo fights being announced. I mean, when I remember they announced him against Khan, I genuinely thought it was if someone trolling, like someone was actually doing it, and like it was Facebook at the time, which I don't use anymore, but someone had it on Facebook. I was like, that's fake. That's fake. And I remember checking all the websites. I was like, oh fuck it, it's not fake. I was like, holy shit. So with Canelo, I don't really get surprised anymore. Carl Big Baby says Carl Frampton chat. Yeah, Carl Frampton has he's a free man. He's got away from that McGuigan, like whatever the hell it was. So man, it good on Carl Frampton. You don't like seeing those things get dragged out. It was weird because him and the McGuigan seemed, like that. They seemed as close as anything, McGuigan and Frampton. But it was yeah, they seemed like close as anything. So I was surprised when they ended up splitting. But what can you do? I mean, Cyclone, they've taken a beating since then. They lost Taylor. They only really had Frampton and Taylor, didn't they, really, when you think about it, Cyclone? I don't think they really had anybody else. But that's not a bad combination, though. If they're your only two fighters, you're doing quite well, Frampton and Taylor. But yeah, look, Frampton seems happy with it. So obviously, you would imagine that he got the better end of it. I mean, like, what is Cyclone doing these days? You don't hear shit from them these days. So I don't know, man. Look, you don't want to see fighters get dragged through courts. You don't want to see it, man. You don't want to see any of that BS. So I'm glad that that's over. Frampton can hopefully have that Jamal Heron fight. Still, I wouldn't be picking him against Heron. I'm still going full steam ahead that Jamal Heron's going to win the fight. I've ever since you go back and watch any time I've talked about that, I've always said Heron to win that fight. Always. Yeah, Dan, I remember what that was, but you did watch that video. It was crazy, wasn't it? I remember watching that a couple of months back. I think it was like April or May. And I was like, I remember checking the date and I was like, Jesus, if you'd watched that video back when it was released in 2010, I'm sure most people would have been like, well, someone like me or you might have looked at it and thought, yeah, maybe. I'm sure if you showed it to the average Joe, they'd just be like, what the fuck is this? And you see it now, and it's like, well, we know who was right. We know who was right in the end. Just give me a sec there. iPhone fucking up. Don't know why. Cool. At about 10 minutes, the assistant coach, Ben Davison, and a former trainer, Tyson Fury, coming on. Ajay Terry, yeah, I think I've seen a few of his comments pop up. This is my problem with some of these live streams, right, lads? I do fucking take me time getting through some of the questions, but I always try and read every question, almost every question. I learned a lesson, right? When someone left a comment with regard to a certain situation, I think most people know what that is. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. I learned that it's always best to read the comment before you put it up on screen. When you put it up on screen, it's kind of no going back. You kind of have to read it. Well, I didn't read that one, but you all knew what it said. So I made a decision to make sure to read the comments first. Big up, G-Man. You'd like to see Crawford win against Brook and Spence win his fight against Garcia. I really want to see Spence. Well, lads, right, judging by the way that Crawford's been talking about Bob Arum, right? He doesn't seem happy at all. He doesn't seem happy at all with Bob Arum, right? So very, very likely that we could actually see that fight happen in the new year. At some stage next year, maybe, because Crawford seems like, and he's been loyal to Big Bob, but he seems like he's on his way out, like into top rank, So we'll have to see how that goes. I just muted the mic there by mistake there. Sorry about that, lads. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But Jesus, I've always felt that Crawford win the fight against Spence. Always felt that way. Always felt they win that way. You're new to the channel. But big up, Ben. You're new to the channel. Well, you think it's great. Keep up the good work, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm always whether you're subbed for years, well, 2 years now, come January. But whether you're sub since then or whether you are new, man, I'm happy to hear. I'm real happy to hear. Thanks for the video of Ireland. Oh yeah. But that was just purely because the lights fucked up in here. Because I only had one light, and I normally have, well, there's meant to be 3. For a while, I've had 2. Yesterday, I had 1. And it wouldn't have. It just looked horrific because that video, right? I actually started that yesterday. Well, I actually recorded the Callum Smith video on my chair over there, but the lights went about halfway through it, and I just soldiered on. But when I looked at it back, I went to edit. I was like, no, it really looks, no, it looks shit. I couldn't have uploaded that. I really couldn't have. So I said, fuck it, we'll do it. And I wanted to talk about it, but I was like, I don't want to do an audio. I haven't done an audio since like before the summer, I think. And I was like, I don't want to flip and do an audio. And, you know, I just was like, but then I was like, it's Thursday. We'll do a throwback. We'll stick it. So many new subscribers never seen some of the old videos where I used to just put snippets of Ireland in it. So I said, we'll stick that out. We'll throw. But I listened to it back and I was like, I don't like it. Like, I mean, I'm so used to, if I'm editing a video or something, that you're so used to seeing me face to face, seeing my reactions, and I actually feel like you actually get more out of me when I'm looking at a camera rather than when I'm just talking with a mic and I know no one's seeing me. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like doing it, so I don't think I'll be bringing them back anytime soon. But who was the boxer in that video? He's not a boxer. That's one of my mates. He tries to box, as you can see by the left hooks he's throwing. As you can see, he's trying to box, but yeah, yeah. And believe me, there's worse. But I said I'll let him away with that. I'll just throw those little snippets up because I believe you me, I've got worse. I've got worse that I could have used, but I said, no. I'll leave it. I'll leave him. I'll let him. I'll only throw in those 2. But yeah, that all those videos of Ireland were done last year when the world was actually flipping normal. But I was actually so annoying looking at some of the videos. I was just like, we should still be like that, but we're not. In terms of like the streets full of people. Well, there still are full of people, but you know, breathing freely. Intangible, big up to Intangible every time. Yes, hashtag G-Man's rocks. There we go. We get that going. You got a script done for the video on. I can't pronounce. My reading is like fucking an autistic fucking person or someone like that. I can just barely fucking read some words. Pryfers or something like that. Dad, if I'm saying it wrong, I am what I am. Yeah, Wilder wants Ruiz. Well, Ruiz won't take that fight. Just not because he's afraid, just because he's getting used to training with Eddie Renault. So there's no point in taking a fight, you know, before you're ready, you know, that sort of way. So Ruiz won't take that fight. Who would I pick in that fight? Who would I actually have? Because that's not a bad fight, lads. I think Ruiz, depends how he looks under Eddie Reynoso. Depends how his weight goes. Because a light Andy Ruiz, who is, you know, moving well on his feet, can get around the ring well, you know, he's quite useful. You know, you take Andy Ruiz is quick hands, good counter puncher on the front foot. If his feet were a little bit quicker and he's able to close the distance down a bit better, got a problem. Got a problem there. But I think Ruiz, he's opened the right hands as we've seen against AJ. I think Wilder would ice Ruiz, personally. Best video of all time, O'Hara Davis in the ass bat. Conveniently going to Spain where he tried to put it on him. Jesus Christ, man. OD. Oh dear, OD. Billy Joe beats Canelo, Danny says. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it. Come back to me if it ever happens. Jesus, going down. I'll be coming back to consider him wrong. I can't see it happening, lads. Honest to God. I think Billy Joe. We're going to see a shit Billy Joe, I think, against Martin Murray. Not because Billy Joe is shit, and not because, you know, he's going to. I just think that Billy Joe raises his game based on his opponents. And I just don't Martin Murray, lads. I can't see him doing much for that. Billy Joe, all you do is to move back down to middleweight. I might be saying that wrong. If he can't get the Canelo fight, you'd love to see Canelo. Or yeah, I'd love to see Golovkin versus Billy Joe at this stage. It's ironic, isn't it, right? That this shows how little discipline Billy Joe had, because he, by his own admission, said that at the start of his career, he should have been a 154 pounder, right? And he would have been all right. He would have been a useful 154 pounder and then gone up to middleweight. Whereas he did the opposite. He actually started at middleweight when he really shouldn't have. He should have been a weight division below. And now he's at 168, where he really shouldn't be. He really shouldn't be up there. And now he's what? Now he's fighting. He's fighting middleweights at super middleweight, because the Sufi, who the hell is he? Then he fought I can't remember the guy's name, Caracas or something like that. Marcellus Caracas or something like that. That guy was a career middleweight. Like, go look at his box rec. I don't think he'd ever campaigned at super middleweight. He was a career middleweight. When God knows how he got the ranking at super middleweight, when all his fights prior to that were at middleweight. So he basically fought at middleweight last year, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, geez, and he struggled. I was like, Jesus Christ. Referee stopped the fight in the 7th round, in a fight that's on air on BT Sport. I've seen that there. I wasn't really paying attention to it, to be fair. I was paying more attention to the chat. But how the heck Callum Smith pull the fight off with Canelo? Oh, I don't think he can. I can't. I don't think he can, man. I really don't. Ash Gartier, big up every time. Nice to have you in the chat, bro. Nice to have you in the chat. Big up, big up. Awesome boxer, Josh Taylor. Can't wait to see him fight Ramirez. I think he beats Ramirez. Lads, don't sleep on Ramirez, right? He is a good fighter, right? Jose Ramirez is a good fighter. Like, I've always been a fan of Jose Ramirez, right? I think that he's not as bad as Billy Joe for doing this, but when you see him against Maurice Hooker, I thought he looked fantastic. I thought he looked flipping fantastic against Maurice Hooker. I didn't think he lost the round. He was clinical. He looked devastating getting rid of him. So when he fought Maurice Hooker, I thought, brilliant. You know, you look fucking fantastic in there, right? He's had other fights where he's looked a little bit, you know, when the opponents are opponents you should have beaten, he's looked just a little bit, you know, iffy against them. But still, he's still a very good fighter. So I think he'll be game. He'll give Josh Taylor won't get rid of him. It's a decision fight. But I think Josh Taylor will have too much in the tank for him. Right, we got 32 in the chat and 17 likes. People, if you could, smash the like button while we're in here. We try and get this up to in around the 30s for the likes, you know? They've been going well, these live streams lately. They've been going like clockwork, you know? Been doing 2 a week, and we're going to keep that trend going. So, like I said, if you could smash the like button, greatly appreciate it. Josh Taylor is the boss. He is pound for pound #1 in the UK anyway. You know, that's what I think about Josh Taylor. I think in the UK, man, Josh Taylor is, for my money, he's #1. He's #1 in the UK at pound for pound, you know? So Josh Taylor, got to big him up every time. Hell of a fighter. And yeah, just big up Josh Taylor. Like, it's I always get like kind of annoyed when I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I actually thought OD would beat him. You know, I thought it would be competitive, but I was like, I thought OD would beat him. How could I have? I like retrospectively looking back now, you can say, well, and when you look back at like the hype around him at the time, it's fair. But I was always someone who was never. I'm always been hard to get sold on people, but with OD, especially someone as abrasive as him, I was like, yeah, I think he's all right, and I actually thought he'd beat Josh Taylor, but he didn't. He got battered. Devon Sinclair, yes, big up Devon Sinclair every single time. Big up, he knows, we know who we are, man. Big up every single time. Welcome, Tahir. I hope I'm saying that right, man. I really do. George Groves went into Callum Smith fight, heavily injured, not ready for the fight. He only fought for the payday. Yeah, look, as I said earlier on in the chat, man, Callum Smith is an okay fighter. He really is. He's a good fighter, but that gassed him. That really gassed him, that World Boxing Super Series, because as I said, right, what the fuck was the guy's name? The Swedish fighter who Callum Smith fought. I cannot remember his name for shit. The Swedish fighter who got a bleed in the brain after he fought Callum Smith. He was meant to fight Rocky Fielding in December 2017. I can't remember his name at all. What the fuck? I'm going to have to box rec him because that's pissing me off now. I'm going to box rec him here. And this guy wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't a world beater. He was a European level fighter. That was the guy Callum Smith fought in the first round. Right? He fought him in the Eric Skoglund. That was it. Fuck, I knew. Eric Skoglund. That was the guy he fought in the first round of the World Boxing Super Series. Then he fought Nicky Holsken, who was a kickboxer who took the fight on 5 days' notice. Literally, he took it on like a week. So he was meant to fight Bramer, and then he fought an injured George Groves. That's who Callum Smith fought. I knew he had an easy run. I just could not think of that goddamn guy. What his name was, Skoglund, because he was meant to fight Rocky Fielding. When Bellew and Hay were meant to have their rematch, they were meant to have it originally on a Sunday. I think it was like December 18th or somewhere like that. It was a Sunday anyway. And eventually one of the undercard fights was going to be Skoglund versus Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding should be thanking his lucky stars that fight never happened, because he would have got battered. Looking back now, retrospectively. But yeah, that was who Callum Smith beat. And I said, compare that to someone like an Usyk, or compare it to Josh Taylor, or compare it to Naoya. Compare it to Naoya Inoue. Like Naoya Inoue, he beat Juan Carlos Payal, who only had one loss at the time, right? He fought an undefeated world champion in Rodriguez. A lot of people were saying that could be a tough fight for Inoue. Blew him out in 2 rounds. Then he had a fight against Nonito Donaire, who, a legend, Nonito Donaire, turned the clock back. I mean, look at the difference. Look how contrasting those two World Boxing Super Series are. You had one guy who fought good fighters, and another guy who fought some European, possibly level fighters. Some, you just know. You just know. Assistant coach Ben Davison is here. Yep, big up to Azar Tahir. I'm saying it right again, but big up to you, mate, my friend. Big up. Glad to have you all here. I wonder if Gallagher's fighters might leave him over the feud with Eddie Hearn. How often do you actually hear? Genuinely, here's just a quick question. How often do you hear fighters leaving Joe Gallagher? I haven't heard of many leaving. I remember Scott Quigg left him to go to Freddie Roach, but he was back fairly quick. He only was with Freddie Roach for a handful of fights, and he came back to him. Joe Gallagher knows his fighters aren't ready for the fights and demands thousands. Well, that I think that does play. I think you're onto something there, man. You're onto something, Troll Network there. I do think he does do that. I think in some cases he'd look, like, as I said, right? And I see Mark has popped up in the chat there at some stage. I said, Joe Gallagher is sort of guy where if I done what you and Dell want to do, which is get to 10-0 by fighting bums in Hungary or bums in Mexico, and you had Joe Gallagher training you, right? I could get to 10-0 and be like, yeah, I want Anthony Fowler. Offer me the fight, Eddie. So he goes, offers me the fight, gives me flipping 10 grand, and you've Joe Gallagher going, whoa. We deserve 50. Do you know who G's fought? Who has he fought? Well, these fought guys on their pro debut, so that means something. That sort of way he's fucking, that sort of way. Like, he just pricing his fighters out. And I know he thinks like as well, he needs to make money as well, but seriously, his fighters aren't worth that much. Assuming AJ and Fury fight each other, who should Usyk fight next? Parker? I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Parker. Him against Parker would be good. He'd probably be on the Matchroom, and him against, I wouldn't mind seeing him against Parker. I think that's a good fight. Hrgovic, or even the Michael Hunter rematch. I'd see that. Heavyweight, that'd be interesting. Who you got? Hrgovic versus Hunter if it gets made. I've got Michael Hunter winning that fight. I think Philip Hrgovic's feet are too slow. So I've got Michael Hunter winning that fight. Seriously, Michael Hunter's no joke. I'm rolling with Michael Hunter 100% in that fight. Crawford going 100% to PBC. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking the same, man. I'm thinking Michael Hunter is going to PBC. Or not Michael Hunter. I'm thinking Crawford is going to PBC. Thoughts on the new weight division? bridge weight. Yeah, that is going to that's going to die a death. That is going to go down, that weight division. Who the fuck? No, it ain't going to happen. Troll Network, you better be wearing a mask. Ain't no one in this chat going to be wearing no masks. That's for damn sure. Oh, that's one thing we don't do. We don't do that. Not in this chat. Did you ever watch Big Raji's boxing channel? Honestly, man, I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. Please enlighten me. Please enlighten me. Let me know how many subs he has. I'll have a look at it after. How are we supposed to get Brook to fight in the UK? Oh, good luck with that. Oh, yeah. How are you supposed to get the Brook fight in the UK? Box Nation. Box Nation, I think, are showing a Premier Sport. I know Premier Sport are showing it, but Box Nation might show it. I think they've got a deal with Premier Sport. But yeah, it's on Premier Sport in the UK. I won't be doing any. I'm not staying up for it. But if I was, it would be a cracking fight, lads. Actually, to be fair, and Mark said this, and he's right. When you're doing, when you're watching fights on Top Rank, and you're not paying for them, you know, there's, what is it called? Violent, Premier, and North. That means Violent, Premier, and North. That means VPN. Or no, yeah, no, it's not VPN, actually. It's a different, very important person, VIP. There you go. That might give you an idea as to how to get good top rank cards if you were in this side of the Atlantic. VIP. Very important person. I might give you an idea. You don't wear a face mask. They offer too much protection. Yeah, there you go, man. They do. Troll Network. That's what I like to hear. Oh, yeah. Bojo the Clown. Unreal. Good to know. Unreal. Wait, whoa. You think that I don't think Wilder would. I think Wilder would knock Andy Ruiz into outer space. I think Usyk would be a good fight for Wilder. I think Usyk would beat. I think he'd beat Deontay Wilder. I really do. Lads, we got Broken Nose in the chat. Fight we people. Evening G-Man. Hashtag G-Man's rocks, man. Every single time. Got Mark in here. Salute to Mark on Rival Boxing. Man, big up to you, Mark, every single time. We got Nick in the chat now. Big up to G-Man and the chat. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. You got to get the regulars out. I've got to shout the regulars out, lads. They're always in the chat, man. Big up every single time. Big up. I got to big all you guys up as well. And as Nick says here, 38 in the chat. Smash the like. 41 now. Smash the like button. How many likes do we have on this? 30 likes. Let's see, can we get 40? Man, the likes just go through the roof in some of these. They literally do, man. The likes go through the roof. But big up to Nick every time. Big up to Mark Unrivaled. Big up to Big Dan. Big up to the regulars, you know. And if I'm missing anyone out, apologies. Big up to all you guys. Big up to Broken Nose. Chris here. G-Man, you forgot the S. Just letting you know now. Yeah, there you go. See, you forgot the S. Where's the S? G-Man's rocks. There you go. There we go. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. Trends. Got to get that shit trending, lads. Got to get that shit trending. And like I said, 32 likes. We need another 8 more. 8 more, and we're laughing. And we got Joe smoking Biden. There we go. Oh, man, that was funny as. Do you remember the Sunday stream I did? That was funny as fuck. We had Joe Biden, right? And these were all fake accounts, obviously. But we had Joe Biden with Angela Merkel, with Boris Johnson, and the shit that the Angela Merkel account was coming out with was so funny. Like, it was just, oh man, that was one of the funniest live streams I think I've ever done. Reading those comments was fucking priceless. I think we had Harley Quinn in the chat as well. Someone with the Harley Quinn account was in the chat as well. I was calling out Joe Biden, not because he doesn't agree with him, but because apparently Joe Biden scored Chisora to Usyk. That had to have been one of the funniest streams I ever did. That was just reading those comments was just so fucking funny. We got Angela Merkel in it. Oh man, it was the funniest thing ever. That guy, hashtag G-Man's Rocks, big up. Big up to you, man, every single time. Big up every single time. You'll ask Karma Harris to come on if you reach it. Oh man, Calma Harris to come on if you reach 100 views. That is she actually? What does she look? Because some people have been telling me she's actually meant to be pretty good looking. Wait there a second, I'll have a look. Some people have been saying that actually that she's meant to be very good looking. Calma Harris, right? The vice president of the US of A. Is she? Why does she look? Wait there a sec. Damn. Yeah, she can. If we get 100 views, I'm all right. I'm all right. One tough boxer fought him. Did someone say Derek Chisora? Look who we got. We got Harley Quinn in the chat, lads. Mr. J. Joe Biden, remember? He scored that fight to Usyk. Yeah, Tommy Fury was around in my condo in Delaware last week, a charmer. Did he bring that, whatever that thing is he calls a girlfriend? Because she looks pasted. I mean, I no disrespect. I shouldn't say it like that, but fuck me, man. She is pasted together. Jesus. Good Lord. Everyone keeps telling me, like, oh, you should see Tommy Fury's missus. Look how pretty she is. And I'm like, no. Not for me, thanks. Not for me. G-Man, what the Bombclar thoughts? I don't know what that means. On Florian Macru. Honest to God, I haven't seen him. So I reserve judgment until I see fighters, man. I don't comment and say, oh yeah, I've heard about this. I haven't even heard of him. So I'll have to, let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see while I'm here. Where are we going? Florian Macru. Oh, Ultimate Boxer. Yeah, I was watching that the other night, but I was kind of going in and out of it, to be honest with you. I wasn't really paying much attention to it. Tommy Fury and his bird have a big YouTube channel, good exposure for him. That is one thing I will say, right? Boxers using YouTube as a means to present them. That's very good. It's a very good idea. Very good idea, actually. MMA guy. Yeah, he fought in that Boxer Champions. Harley Quinn apologized today for his scoring. Did he? Did he really actually? There you go. Maybe Mr. J. Maybe Mr. Did you really? Did he apologize? Well, that's Harley Quinn. Fair play to him. Now, I want to apologize because I missed a shitload of chats. I went straight down because I was picking up a few of the guys. Rocky Fielding was a beast. I don't even think Rocky Fielding would agree with that statement. Only a price of £1.99. No further info how long that will last. Hopefully a few months at least. That is for DAZN. But see, the problem with DAZN is, right, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think you are literally just getting boxing. I don't think you're actually getting anything other than boxing. So I don't know, like, if there's football around, like, even if it's Bundesliga or something like that, I'd still watch it, you know, sort of way. Like, but if it's just boxing, meh. Jose Ramirez is a way better human being than Josh Taylor, but Josh will kick his ass. But Josh Taylor, like, yeah, like, I'm sure I've heard that he can be a little bit, you know, of a dick sometimes. In terms of him and some of his views, I have to big him up for them personally, and I'm sure most people will know what they are if you go on his Twitter and you see some of the things he says. I can't not big him up, seriously, for what he's been saying, because I think he's been doing some good work. But I have heard as well that a lot of people feel as though, or I've seen him be a dick. Look, I can't comment on that. I don't know the guy. But in terms of what he's like on Twitter and stuff like that, I can't help but big him up. Can't help but that. Is DAZN a sinking ship? Well, let me put it to you like this, right? The heads of DAZN, seriously, they don't they don't understand boxing. That's the best way I describe it. Purely because if you're a promoter and you're doing like a pay-per-view or something like that, I'm not saying not pay-per-view, but let's say, right, if you want to see your fighter in the best fights, right, and you're pumping money into him, and he's saying he wants to fight Billy Joe or he wants to fight Callum Smith, who were the two, arguably two of the best in the division, right? You would put that fight on paper, you do all this. That's what HBO and Showtime and all used to do. But the Zone look at Canelo versus Billy Joe and Callum Smith and say, no, we want you in there against Jorge Masvidal, an MMA fighter who is literally a novice in terms of boxing if he was to turn pro. So you just have to look at that, and you can tell straight away there's people who run the Zone. They really don't. They're really all about getting subscriptions. They're all about getting. Yeah, they're getting the casuals in, but they're getting them in for a one-off fight. Like, I mean, you do good numbers if you got Canelo versus Masvidal from casuals. Obviously, the hardcore fans like me and all you guys, we'd be all like, what the fuck? We don't want to see that. But your average Joe, so like, look at it like this, right? When I go out with the lads to get my hair cut, or if we go out for drinks, right? The first thing they talk to me about, because most of them know now that I do YouTube, and the first thing they'll be like saying to me is not like, oh, we looking forward to AJ Fury, or you're going to look forward to Canelo's next fight. You're going to look for, they don't talk about any of that. The first thing that they nearly always ask me is, Tyson Jones, what do you think? Mike Tyson looks well. He's a beast, isn't he? Jones, how old is he? He's like 36, 37. They say he's old as well, but I reckon it's just like, whoa. What? I don't give a shit about that fight. Yeah, but Tyson looks a bit, mate, he looks terrible. The man is, no. That's why I'm just like, no, man. So that's what the average casual is looking for. So I can see, in one sense, you can kind of see why the Zone do it, because they're just like, they know how to draw the casuals in. But for us hardcore fans, like, I mean, really, we're going to pay a subscription just to watch Canelo versus a Masvidal or someone like that. I sure as hell ain't. Any news about Tyson Fury and Billy Joe? I'd love to know as well. What's your thoughts on Dillian White's career? Dillian White, in terms of his career, right? In terms of him managing it, he's done a fantastic job. You can't argue he's done a fantastic job. The reason why is that although he's never fought for a world title, he's made more money, a hell of a lot more money, than certain world champions in other divisions. He's managed it very well to put himself in the position where he's on pay-per-view making so much money. In terms of, I can't really fault the matchmaking, to be fair, because he's taken the tough fights when he's needed to, and he's won them when he's needed to. So the matchmaking, I can't really fault. Some people would say, well, what about the Povetkin fight? Well, the Povetkin fight, to me, it had upset written all over it. Not because Povetkin had a certain style to trouble Dillian White. No, it had an upset written all over it because of the way Dillian White was presenting himself in the build up to that fight. Constantly talking about past Povetkin, talking about February 2021, talking about Fury, talking about Joshua. Just, did he ever really, and all the times you saw Dillian White in interviews, and all the times you saw him calling this fighter out and saying this about this fight, did you ever once hear him say, but I'm looking at Povetkin, I'm looking at this? I was just, to me, it was all just, you're talking ahead of a fighter who is still dangerous, who is going full steam ahead with training. He is going to be focusing purely on you, right? That is where upsets happen. That's how upsets happen. So when I was listening to all that, I was like, I can see an upset. And I had the feeling of an upset. Obviously, I didn't pick Povetkin to win the fight. I picked Dillian White to win. But I just had the feeling that, like, something is gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. And obviously, it's funny enough, when the first round started and I saw Povetkin's time was a bit off, I was like, oh, we ain't getting an upset. That's just genuinely what I thought. I saw his time was off. I saw that Dillian White was looking all right, and I was like, no, we ain't getting upset. And then fifth round comes, boom, and that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the cookie crumbles. Does Conor Bell have a British title in him? I'm not picking him against Formella, personally. I'm not picking him against Formella. I hope the Zone works. So do I. Like, I mean, if it gets rid of pay-per-views, that's good. It seems like a good, cheap way for British fans to watch boxing US as well, considering the fact, mate, that Sky are putting literally none of the US shows on. The more we can get without having to like go down the road of just getting all like all these just bullshit subscriptions. Like as long as if you can get one that just does most of it, then it's good to go. It'll be one a month for a long, yeah, I think as well. It's just introductory. Oh, we know it's not going to last at that price. Definitely not. But enjoy it while you can. I mean, if it's $1.99 over there, it'd be about £3 over here, in euros. No. I wasn't expecting it to be that dear. But I was expecting it to be. I was expecting to be in around that. No, actually, like maybe about 4 or 5, and obviously that's in pounds. So over here, it's a little bit dearer. You thought they were going bankrupt to pay Canelo the money. Well, who knows? Remember during the summer they were reporting that the zone were in a few financial shakes, but we've heard nothing about that. Price of only $1.99 with no further info. How long it's going to? Oh yeah, I think I read it there. Brook would beat Crawford. Well, Joe, I don't know about that. Does the World Boxing Boxing Super Series have a future? I hope it does. Because it's a good concept and we've seen some good fights in it. I think it's very good, but I don't know, man. Just with the way things, see, they were paying fighters very well, and with everything that's going on now, I don't know if we're going to see kind of those paychecks again. So I hope we do. I really do, because it's a great little concept. Oh yeah, we got 40 in the chat and 37 likes. 3 more likes, we get to 40. Let's get the 40 likes there, peeps. Can we do that? 3 more likes, we get to 40 likes. Smash the like button if you haven't already. If Frotch Growth Tree was being done now, would you buy the pay-per-view? Not a chance. Not a chance. If Usyk fights Daniel Dubois, it would make him look legit a heavyweight. He beat Daniel Dubois. I like Daniel Dubois. I rate him, but he beat Daniel Dubois. Usyk would he'd have a field day with him. I'm moving my legs, and I hope to God that camera is not going to fuck up now, because that camera has a tendency to do that whenever I start moving around a bit. So I'm just making sure that it's all good. This is how bad it is, right? I actually have to have my fucking iPhone there with me looking at this stream, because the camera can be so fucking choppy sometimes, just to make sure, because mine just stays clear, right? On my end, mine just stays clear, but on your end, sometimes it goes, and I'm always having to look and be like, it's staying clear, is it? It is. It's staying clear. Yeah, it's definitely staying clear. Joe Galler seems like a right pain in the arse. Yes, but he's a good trainer. I don't think, I've always felt Joe Gallagher is overrated as a trainer. I think he's got a one-dimensional style, kind of, let the opponent tire. No, I don't know. He's had quite a lot of world championship. Yeah, he has, but I think that's more because he managed the fighters as well. Like, I mean, a lot of his fighters have had short shelf lives. Like, look at Scott Quick. Usyk will end up getting his hands to the WBA belt once it becomes vacant. I think you mean WBO, because he's ranked mandatory for the WBO. Can't see the WBA. Just give him a shot at the vacant title. Who was this guy Huey Fury's for? Oh my good lord. Huey Fury, right? He's fighting a guy with a record of 0-11. Not Huey Fury, Tommy Fury. Let's see how long this goes. I'm actually right. I'm watching this for. I'm not hoping hell am I turning the laptop around, by the way, and get a bleeding copyright strike on me. But let's have a look see. And Nick, a big up to you again if I haven't already. Big up 38 in the chat. Smash the like. We have 40 likes now. Let's have a look see. 40 likes. Boom, bingo. There you go, lads. There we go. You're not bigger than you. It won't last, man. I've done no videos on it because I genuinely don't think it'll last. Right? I genuinely can't see it last. Is Box Nation? No, it's not. It's not. It's not been free for a year now. It was August last year. I had to start paying for BT Sports separately, or Box Nation, and I didn't pay for. Man, this fight ain't gonna. Oh, Huey Fury getting caught with a left hook. Or Tommy Fury getting caught with a left hook. Chin way up in the air. It wasn't a serious left hook. Chin way up in the air, gets caught with a left hook. He's just probing on the outside now. It's kind of doing some of the hand movement that Tyson does. He gets pinned up against the ropes. He's fighting a guy 0-11, so this is obviously not this is obviously just a win fight, and he's not fought nearly. It's only his 4th pro fight. Yeah, catch him as he comes in, but then he walks into a clinch. See how this goes, because it's only a 4-rounder. Jeez, I would have thought they would have brought him on to 6 rounders by now. But he's just keeping it on the outside, doing a little bit of movement. Obviously he's not as big as his brother Tyson, but he's being trained by John Fury last I checked. So we'll see, staying up again the ropes. He was first, like literally a few seconds of this round. This is the first round, by the way. He's caught with a left hook, chin way up in the air. And this guy, although he's not good, can't pronounce the guy's name, although he's not particularly good, you can tell he's got a bit of ambition there. But he is just falling into clinches and trying to get a few jabs in there, trying to get a few digs in at Tommy Fury. I suspect Tommy Fury will get rid of him, but it'd be interesting to see, because some people have questioned Fury's power. Now, he's only good uppercut lands by Tommy Fury. He seems to have buzzed them. Yeah, he's buzzed them. Good right hand lands and into a clinch. Yeah, I can't see this fight lasting long. So back out, Tommy Fury's in the center of the ring now, just having a look at the guy. A few little jabs in there. Just kind of taking out. There you go. Good uppercut. It catches his opponent as he comes in. Not a bad shot there. Trying to do some commentary. I don't commentate on any fights. They're just lucky that this is going on. I will get back to the chat now in a sec. But this guy is terrible. He's fighting, by the way. This guy is terrible. He's game. That's what you want. You want someone game. Like some of these journeymen, they just come in there. They just try and tuck up. They barely throw 3 punches in 3 rounds. But this guy's throwing a few shots. But he's no defense. Shots he's throwing are so easily telegraphed. Although Tommy Fury's not really doing anything. He's just really, he's moving around a little bit. He's staying back. He's catching uppercuts. He's going in. But he's doing sweet F all after. Like, and he hurt the guy about a minute ago and let the guy just kind of casually stroll off. There we go. It's the first round over. So see how it goes. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. There we go. Big up. Box Nation are showing. Yeah, they are, which is good. Like, that's. See, here's the thing, right? Box Nation was free. I originally paid for it. Then I got it free with BT Sport, so I canceled the subscription. And then when it stopped being free with BT Sport, I just was like, well, fuck it. What am I paying for? Because all boxing from Frank Warren's side was going on to BT Sport. They weren't even giving us IFL shows or anything, like our MTK shows. So I was honestly like, well, what's the point? And it's still 12 quid a month. I ain't paying 12 quid a month for nothing. Honestly, didn't know box. Yeah, it's still a thing. Like, and they're still charging people, as far as I know. So, do you think Billy Joe should go back to Frank Warren? Do you know what? Right, I really don't know. I really don't know Billy Joe, because I genuinely think that people be saying, "Oh, Billy Joe doesn't get the opportunity." I think he's part of the problem. Realistically, I think he's part of the problem, Billy Joe. So I think it's irrelevant who you actually have with him, whether you have Frank Warren or whether you have Eddie Hearn. I think you're always going to have issues with Billy Joe, irrespective of the promoter. The way I've been looking at it is fighter needs to get paid. Who's paying you the most? Whoever's paying you the most, go with him. Seriously, like whoever is paying you the most, go with him. And whoever has the better contract as well. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be loyal to any promoter. You're only here for so long in terms of your boxing. But I genuinely think that irrespective of the promoter, Billy Joe was always going to be a problem there. He's just so sporadic. He's ill-disciplined. Like, and I like Billy Joe. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I like watching him. But he just does so many things that you just look and you just think, what the fuck? You just think, what the fuck? Who does the winner of Joyce and Dubois fight next? That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know who the winner would fight next. I really don't know. Because like theoretically speaking, if AJ vacates, they'd be next in line to fight Alexander Usyk for the vacant title, theoretically speaking. But I don't. Maybe Joyce, yeah, maybe if he wins. But Dubois, I just can't see Warren wanting to do that. I just can't see Warren wanting to put him in there with someone like a Alexander Usyk at now anyway, even if it is for a world, maybe for a world title, maybe, but I don't know. I can't see it, man. G-Man, we want to get you in a stream with unrivaled beats and ring IQ. Do you know what, right? I'm sub to all those guys. But I don't know, like, I don't mind. Like, I like going on the panels sometimes, but I don't always go on them. Do you know what sort of way? Like, I do like going on, like, other channels. Like, I've been on Mark's, I've been on D's, I've been on Rings once, I think. I was on Rings once anyway. And I was in a chat with him once. And never been on Beats, been in his chat a few times. But I don't know, I just like doing it. So, like, I bring panels on here sometimes, but you see, like, 90% of my streams are solo streams. I just like it. I just like me face to face to you guys, talking to you. It's good fun. Do you know where I can watch Tommy Fury's fight? BT Sports or there's a cracking little website. You could probably get that on. I'll just leave it there. I'm sure someone will put, and take it straight back out again. Because you can get in a bit of trouble for that. But cracking little website, you should be able to watch that on. I say no. Oh wow. Bad knockout. All right, I'm just seeing a fighter sprawled out on the canvas. Let's have a look-see at this. All right, let's have a look-see. So, both guys clinching. Right. Both guys clinching. Oh, that was a good uppercut. I'll give him that. That was a good uppercut. I'll give him that. That was. I'll give Hughie Fury or Tommy Fury. That was a good uppercut. Yeah, knocked the guy damn near out cold. Knocked him damn near out cold with about 10 seconds to go. That was a good uppercut by Tommy Fury. I will give him that. And he caught him coming in. It was nicely timed. Well done. Well done. Will Wilder get the trilogy? No, he won't get the trilogy. He ain't getting the trilogy fight. No way. Deontay Wilder, he doesn't want that trilogy fight. He can say all he wants. Oh, yeah. I want this and I want that. He don't want the trilogy fight. As far as I'm concerned, Deontay Wilder, now that he has... now that the contract essentially is finished, he doesn't need to. He can be like, yeah, grand, I don't have to fight him. So now I can start calling him out. Now I can start saying this, that, and the other. But when he had his chance, he didn't take it. They could have at least got the fight made or something like that. But he don't want that trilogy fight. His team want it. Like I said before, they want to cash him out Tyrell Big style. Team want the fight, but in terms of everything else, like that, they ain't gonna. Team don't want that fight. No way. Team don't want that fight. If White beats Povetkin in the rematch, who should White fight next? Chisora, Tree, or Dubois? I wouldn't be remotely shocked if they tried to do Chisora, Tree. Honestly, I wouldn't be remotely surprised if they tried to do Chisora, Tree. Give me one sec there, lads. Let's take a quick drink here. I just wanted to fix something as well. So that's why I said I'll go off camera for 1 sec. There we go. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be remotely surprised if they try and do White, Chisora, Tree. They probably will try and get the world title shot done. Just make sure because sometimes the camera, the camera's fine. I wouldn't be remotely surprised if they tried to do that. And I want to go and call out and shout out to my man, JPK. That's one thing I try and do on these streams. I always try and read every comment, but when I see some of the regulars pop in, I got to big them up. That's what I did when I saw Broken Nose Boxing, Chris, Mark Unrivaled. I got to big up the regulars every single time, right? Because they're always in these chats. They're always, commenting. And Nick as well. Big up to him. Big up to Dan. Big up to Troll Network. All those guys. Devon Sinclair. When they're always in these chats, I always got to big them up. The beast. Yes, G-Man. Yes, G-Man. Yeah. Love the channel. Man, it's crazy. What are we at now in terms of subs? We're nearly we're getting closer and closer to 3K. We gained the subscribers since I went live. I'm happy. As long as I see the sub count going up, I'm a happy G. Fury has an all right uppercut. Yeah, that was he timed it well. He definitely timed it well. I literally just looked up and saw a fighter scrawled out on the canvas, and I was like, oh, all right, well, let's have a look, see at this. Yeah, but like the guy was 0-11. To be fair, Dan, like so. I don't know. I mean, like Hughie Fury or Tommy Fury, the jury's out, and he did. Now he landed it a few times. To be fair, he was landing it all right. The guy was 0-11 though. Let's see what happens when he fights someone like, with a pulse. And it's crazy though, Huey Fury, like, or Tommy, I keep calling him Huey. I keep calling him Huey Fury. Tommy Fury. It's crazy. He goes on a show like Love Island and he's got like a bigger following than his brother Tyson, almost. Adrian Remedy, big up to you, my friend. Big up to you every single time. If Hatman's not doing the live streams, I'm the next best thing. That's what I said to him once, actually. I think I texted that once. I was like, if you're not doing the live streams, I'll take over. I'm the next best. I'm the next best. Smash the like button on the way in, lads. Big up to Nick every single time. Someone asked me actually that. Who's in Tommy's corner? As far I seen Big John Fury. He wasn't in the corner. The last time Tommy Fury fought, John Fury was in the corner. But that was last year, so God only knows what's happened since then. Josh Taylor is one of the nicest guys you've met. Well, I've never met Josh Taylor, and as I said, a few people have said that they've seen like him. He always came across as a cool guy to me prior to, some of the things I've seen on Twitter. Once I saw those things on Twitter, I was like, yes, this man needs to be bigged up. We need to big Josh Taylor up as much as we can because he's a stand-up guy. As far as I'm concerned, the man is a real stand-up guy. That Josh Taylor is him, Frank Buglioni, Luke Keeler, Dave Colwell, Adam Boot, all those guys, standout guys. They really are. They really are standout guys. Mate, don't bother with this TT guy. He's looking like it. We're talking about Tommy Fury, man. TNT Tommy Fury. Fuck, man. What the... that's what Tommy Fury is. Harley Quinn needs to... apologize today. Yeah, well, that's good, man. And they have exposure. Yeah. Huey Fury and his missus. She just... Or Tommy Fury. Keep calling him Huey Fury. Man, that woman, I just... Ugh, not for me. Is Eddie Hearn pushed the women's boxing too much? I don't have much interest in the largely female card. Yeah, he is, but... some women's fights I don't mind, and some I do. And what I mean by that is there's some that are just shit. They're just shit. And they shouldn't be on some of these cards. But then there's some that are actually all right. Like that Terry Harper and Tash Jonas fight wasn't bad. Rachel Ball versus Shannon Courtney wasn't bad. Katie Taylor, all her fights are bad. I mean, I don't like watching Katie Taylor fight at all. But I will cover her fight tomorrow. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. That's the only reason why. But, yeah, Eddie Hearn is pushing it like a motherfucker. He's putting this card on YouTube, so not everyone can watch it. So even if you don't have a Sky subscription, you can watch the card tomorrow on YouTube. And John Doherty versus Jack Cullen, that'd be a decent enough fight. So you're getting that fight for free on YouTube. That'd be a good fight. But yeah, he is doing a lot to big up. Sometimes I think he is going a bit too far. I mean, like, this card is not particularly great. Like, I will cover Rachel Ball because she seems like a cool girl. I'll cover Katie Taylor for obvious reasons. And of course I'll cover Jack Cullen versus John Doherty. But that's really it, to be honest with you. The Zone are just chucking money at the biggest names in boxing. Any plan for building up future fighters? No, they're not. They're just chucking money at the biggest guys they can get. You had Povetkin beating White and Meyer Cream. Man, I wanted to pick him in that prediction video I done. I really did, because it just smelled like an upset. But I was just like, will I, won't I? And I was like, maybe not. I was like, maybe not. Maybe I won't. I went with Dillian White, but I knew I should have just gone with my gut feeling and said Povetkin. Always go with your gut feeling. G-Man's Rocks. What do you think about MTK? Miss MTK, like, they're fine as far as I'm concerned. They seem all right. Seem like they good management company, and happy if they ever came knocking to do a little bit of interviewing or something, if they ever was like backstage or anything like that, if they ever got the opportunity. Not not now, obviously, but maybe in about 6 months when things all work out. Maybe if they ever came to me and said, would you like to do some interviewing or something like that, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. So who knows? But who knows? I'd be like that with anyone. Any like major company said like, yo, G, do you want to do some writing or interviewing? Not now. I'd say no now. Flat out no. but in about maybe 6 months when things work out, then yeah, definitely. You think the zone is strategizing too much, thinking ahead, and not getting fights and cars that are good and entertaining. They are bad business. No, they're not boxing people at all. That's what I have to. They're not boxing people at all. Like at the end of the day, it says it all, right? When you would rather have Canelo Alvarez versus Jorge Masvidal over what was the guy, Callum Smith or Billy Joe, it says that and the heads are the ones saying that. It shows they're not real boxing people. Josh Taylor seems cool, not really getting what hate. Not really getting what haters are saying. He trains, eats, goes to the beach. Not exactly. No, I think some people don't like Josh Taylor just because. See, I think with some people, some people just don't like Josh Taylor because maybe it's because he does come across a bit cocky, like he does, but I don't think he comes across it in a bad way. You can come across it in a really like shitty cocky way, like like OD used to come across like that. But Josh Taylor, I think, does it right. He's shown from what I've seen, stand-up guy. Him, Frank Buglioni, Luke Keeler, Dave Colwell, Adam Booth, except I'm sure there's more. Terence Crawford. I got to big up all those people. I really do. Will there ever be a resurgence to high-level boxing? I really hope there will be. They need it. Man, that's terrestrial TV getting some of these fights. They need it. They really do. They really do. Like when we get big fights, like you're obviously not going to get like a Klitschko Joshua on like Channel 5 or BBC. But do you remember when we got like Ben McClellan on ITV? We need something like that where it's a big fight. It's not crazy big, but a big fight. We need that on terrestrial TV. We do. Formella will box Ben's ears off the whole fight. Oh, I hope they don't do that, man. I really, 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 really hope they don't do that. I can see something like that happening, Nick. That's the sad thing. But I really, really hope they don't do that. I really hope they don't do that. But I'm with you on that. I think Formella will box his ears off. I really do. What's your most disappointing cancellation, G-Man? Right, I'm going to get it. O'Bale versus Daenerys. One is a bit shitty. Yeah, I'm pissed off about that too. I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to that. I think that's probably my most disappointing. I was hyped for that fight. Tony, big up to you, Tony, every time. What do you think about a Lopez-Loma rematch? Same thing, man. Might stop him this time. Seriously, you might stop Loma this time. I think that Loma knows what he did wrong, but I can't. I think Lopez just too big, too strong, hits too hard. I don't think there's any way that Lomachenko can get a win there. I really don't. Actually, I want to actually have a check with that because I've seen someone pop up in the chat. CGB, shout out to you every time. Big up to you. Has Kell Brook made weight? I don't know. Have they even done the weigh-in yet? Let's go and have a check, see. Decision within the week. Oh, Frank Warren has stated they expect to get a decision from Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 contract within the week or so. I think he's implying that basically maybe they're just waiting to say that it's fucked basically. There won't be any. Let's see. Top Rank. Let's see Top Rank boxing. Do they have the weigh-in? So the weigh-in's beginning in a few moments. Okay. So the weigh-in will be starting soon. So Kell Brook hasn't officially made weight yet. We will soon see. 44 likes. Let's smash the like button if we haven't. Let's try and get to 50 likes. All right. We try and go one step. We're at 44 likes now. Let's get 6 more likes and we're going to get 50 likes. G-Man, you're skating thin ice, calling Frank B a standout guy. Well, he is. I don't think that's skating on thin ice. I think that I can call a lot of people standout guys. A lot of people I can call that. So I ain't skating thin ice when I say, and he's a cool guy. You hear Dave Allen finally been put in his place at the bottom of a fight card on a fight night. Yeah. He's on the 21st, November 21st show. Well, he's not on a pay-per-view. I mean, that's something. But Jesus, man, I mean, like, Hammer would have boxed his ears off. Hammer legit would have boxed his ears off. Seriously, Hammer would have boxed his ears off. In a weird way, and I mean it like this. In a weird way, I wanted to see him versus Christopher Lovejoy, not because I thought Lovejoy would win or anything like that, but just because of the entertainment. Like it just seemed like this was car crash TV. It just seemed like, has anyone ever watched South Park, right? And have they ever seen the stripper Spontaneous Booty? That would have been like what Christopher Lovejoy would have been like. A massive, guy running through a wall. That's what it would have been like, because the guy didn't train. He was 350 pounds. He fought himself, Michael Smith. Look at that up on BoxRec. It just seemed like it was just destined to be a laugh. And that was a crap card. Crap card. But it just looked like it was destined just to be a bit of a laugh. We could just have a laugh at it and be like, all right, it's done. And if he won, if he beat Dave Allen, oh my God, the post fights would have, mine, Dell, Marks, we would have had a field day with him. Oh my God, I can just picture Dell's post fight review on that. That would have been hilarious. Try and sort it out for you. If you're talking about MTK or anything like that, as I said, like I'd fucking love to be like interviewing for them or something like that, or doing something like in boxing, the world of journalism, but not right now. I've got other dreams that are big, and I'm gonna fulfill them, and I need to be here in Ireland in doing what I'm doing right now. I ain't gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But I won't be taking on it until I go for that. So maybe one day, but right now I'm staying exactly where I am. Exactly where I am. No matter what I'm offered, it ain't worth it. Some things are priceless. And as I said, maybe in about 6 months' time, when everything's worked out, then we can look at it. But for now, we where we are. White's career just shadowed AJ minus Rivas. Should have took a shot with AJ. He was offered good money. He was offered good money to fight AJ, didn't take it. And hindsight is 2020. He could have been. I think he would have lost that fight though. I think he has the demons still there. Yeah, I think the demons are still there. Tommy moves like Tyson. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Tommy looking good and can fight. Maybe he can go far. Reminds me of Robin Reed. I don't think he's going to go that far, to be honest with you, man. I'm no offense to him, but I don't think he needs to perform with those. Yeah, well, he might do something with that. There needs to be a weight between light heavy and cruiser, maximum weight 180. Yeah. Something like that. Maybe that's, but I don't know. Like, I don't think there was a need to make another goddamn division at this stage. It just seems ridiculous. Billy Joe's career will go down as a waste of challenge. At least George Grove stepped up. Yes. Lemieux, the distance, his best win. Froch and Badu Jack would have knocked Billy Joe out. I would have picked Badu Jack to beat Billy Joe. Badu Jack doesn't get enough credit because he lost a couple of fights. Give me 2 secs there, peeps. As I'm sure many of you will know, when I do that, it only means one thing. There we go. It means that I had the fire on over there and it was getting too hot. That's literally, whenever I go off camera in one of these streams and I say 2 secs, it's literally because I've got electric fire and it's getting way too hot in the room. And I'm fucking struggling. But yeah, no, Callum or Badu Jack would definitely, in my opinion, he'd have beaten Billy Joe. He'd have beaten Billy Joe, definitely. But yeah, at least George Groves did step up when he needed to. But what can you do? Like Billy Joe, as someone said earlier in the chat, do I think that he should have stayed with Frank Warren? And as I said, I think it's irrelevant because I think that Billy Joe, irrespective of the promoter he's with, is always going to be he's going to be a problem because he's just that type of character. So whether people would be like, well, Eddie Hearn didn't do a good job, Frank Warren didn't do a good job. It's like, yeah, but if he was with Top Rank, Aaron wouldn't do. It's not relevant. Like he's just erratic. I think that's always going to be an issue. You like the new weight cast personally, so the kids didn't have Fury's mother milk by chance. Jesus Christ, man. Imagine super middleweight versus, oh man. Oh no, Andre Ward. I love Andre Ward, man. He is one of my favorite fighters. I love Andre Ward. I really do. Love watching him fight. He wasn't the most entertaining, but what he done from a skill level was just fantastic. 46 likes and 40 in the chat. 4 more likes. We're at the magical 50. I ain't stopping this live stream till I hit 50 likes. So we've been going for an hour and 25 minutes. I ain't stopping till I get 50 likes. And even when I hit 50 likes, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. We're going to try and do an hour 40, maybe close to 2 hour live stream. So we get another 4 likes. We're at 150. We're at 50 likes. So you got the goal for this evening. We get the 50 likes. Tommy is numbers partly the Polish man last time. Man, let's box rec. I'm going to box rec Tommy Fury because he's been fighting some shit opponents. He really has. That guy was 0-11. Let's see. It's Tommy Fury box rec. And let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see at the resumes. The resume. Pro debut. Wow. Oh, boy. So, right. I'm going to bang the old calculator out here, okay? So out of the 4 people he's fought, right? They have a record of 10 wins. All right, wait there a sec. We banged the calculator out. They have a record of 10 wins. Okay, so they're 10 and 165. That's Tommy Fury's last 4 opponents. They've a combined record of 12 wins, I should say, and 165 losses. Wow. That is not very good, to say the least. That's not very good, to say the least. That is not good at all, to say the least. Eddie loves a 50 grand woman's undisputed. Yeah, they don't make a lot of money. It has to be said. Tommy is in boxing's worst division. How many Sharks are in the top 20? Yeah, he is. He is not. Oh boy, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time winning a world title at that division because look at the guys, even at fringe world level, like they're good guys like Yard, Boazzi. He would imagine they put Kalik, the guy who fought Boazzi, in there, even in the next 15 months with Tommy Fury. That's gonna be bad. And in response to Ben's question here, will Anthony Yard win a world title? I think he will. I think he will. Tunde will have a field day when Yard wins a world title. Yeah, I was looking forward to that fight. I wonder how many of you would have picked Fury to win that. I mean, retrospectively looking back, most people would say Fury probably would have won. But at the time, what was the perception? Right? I remember thinking David Haye would win at the time, but I wasn't as hardcore as I am now. So maybe looking back, if that was in that position now back then, maybe I would have gone with Fury. But I'd love to know what people's who they were picking for Haye versus Fury, who they would have thought would have won the fight. That would have been interesting. Find that interesting to know who people would have thought who won that fight. Who's top of BT card tonight? Bentley versus Heffron. I'm probably going to cover that fight in a post fight. To be fair, I'll probably have stopped before, or if I stop, I'll probably stop during. So I'm probably going to cover it in the post fight. I'm doing 3 fights tomorrow night. Covering 3 fights tomorrow night, definitely. So I'm covering Ball, Taylor, and Doherty. I'm covering the 3 of them. So be interesting. Be a busy night tomorrow night. Won't be that busy. I have to set up. I don't have to strive. I've got the Sky app, so I can watch all those fights. Yeah. We all got Dave Allen. And Nick's bringing Dave Allen. Yeah, we got to mention Dave Allen. Oh my god. You can't wait to. I know Mike Tyson versus. No, I'm only joking. No, I'm only joking. We definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Dubois versus Joyce. Anyone else betting on Joyce to beat DDD? Crazy odds. It is crazy how the odds are for that fight, because I give Joe Joyce a very good chance of winning the fight. Very, 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 very good. I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised the odds are so high. I'm not picking now. Saying that right, the odds are ridiculous. Joe Joyce is in there, but I ain't picking him to win the fight. But I can see him winning, definitely. You were going to buy the pay-per-view till you heard Dave Allen was on it. And now, man, it just... Why? Listen, I've watched those fish eyes, and he's a fucking weirdo. Tyson not fighting the UK. It's unreal. Wilder Fury next, no undisputed fight. Well, we can all be proven wrong. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, Bob Arum as well is hopefully pulling strings. So I'm hopeful. I actually have a good feeling we might see Tyson Fury in the ring. I hope so anyway, before the end of the year. Could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's why I always say, like, I'm not someone who's gonna be like, you know, oh no, I'm right when I'm wrong. No, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fuck it. It's what it is. You know, it's what it is. If I think he's gonna fight before the end of the year and he doesn't, like, yeah, fucked up, got it wrong. But sure, look, we all make mistakes. You thought White would have beaten AJ if they fought in 2019? Really? Wow. No, man. I'm not convinced. I wasn't convinced. My bad, G man. You got Frank B confused with Frank Maloney. Jesus. I don't see how you could mix those two lads up. Jesus Christ. You can't miss Frank Maloney anytime you fucking see the lad. He's yeah, Frank Maloney. YouTube. Never got notification for the stream. For the second time, G man. I'm not getting notification. Well, it might have been because I had it set as a schedule. I think they're a bit different because I scheduled this live stream like an hour in advance. I know notifications normally tend to work quite well for me. I haven't pissed YouTube off yet. Hopefully I don't. YouTube have been all right with me. And I've not really sworn much in this stream. Will I monetize it or won't I? I don't know if I monetize it. I think I'm just stopping monetizing streams because they're so twitchy about swearing that they're like, you get like, if you have your channel monetized, you get the green like mark or you get the yellow. Yellow is like limited ads, but it's not worth your while if it's on that because you get fuck off for it. So I'll probably just keep this theme. I won't just monetize this stream, probably just leave it as it is. At least that way I can swear as much as I want. And sure, look, if I get anything for happy days, then I definitely don't have to monetize it, but I'm not losing sleep either way. So I'll probably just leave it as it is. Probably won't even I'm probably going to stop monetizing live streams because if I keep monetizing them, I have to just swear a little bit less. And I don't think I swear that much, but you can let your hair down a bit. White and Brook should have left Hearn when Hearn couldn't get big fights. The Gale left and got some big fights. If White left Hearn, he'd have gotten the Wilder fight. I don't know. I don't know about that. Brook definitely 100% should have left Eddie Hearn. 100% should have left them. Man, when you're fighting Frankie Gavin on pay-per-view, you need to get the hell away from that promoter. Fuck that shit. But in terms of White, you know, I mean, White could have. He was fighting on a fight-by-fight deal, but he stuck around. So, I don't know. I think White done all right, but Brook, I agree with you there. He should have left Eddie Hearn. Fuck, he should have left Eddie Hearn ages ago. So how many are we going? We're going 3 more likes, so we at the magical 50. Let's go. Let's see if we can get it. Please no, like the stream. We get we get hours of G-Man's content. Well, we only need another 3 likes and we're at 50. All right, or we only need another 3 likes and we're at 50. But even when I hit 50, I'm not gonna stop it. I'm gonna keep going. You know, obviously, 1 more like and we're at 50, lads. 1 more like and we're at 50. Just to troll the Troll Network. He says no one like it. Fucking like it. Right, the Troll Network getting a taste of his own medicine just to troll the troll. Right, 1 more like, we're at 50. But even if we hit 50 now, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do another 20 minutes or so, at least. You know, maybe more. Who knows? Badu's Jack record 23 or 22, 23 and 3 should be 25 and 2. Yeah, it should be. 100% should be. 100% should be. Badu Jack is an interesting character because he's got some absolute shockers of decisions on his own shows. Like, well, not his shows, but he's the home fighter. Tommy's opponents are embarrassing. Yeah, they are. Jesus, they're rubbish. Like, this guy never won a fight in his life. Literally, the guy was 0-11 when he went in to fight Tommy Fury. What I like about Ward is his old school inside fight and using wrestling tactics. Don't see that nowadays. No, you don't. You don't at all. Man, I loved Andre Ward. I fucking loved watching Andre Ward fight. Always was a fan of his. Always was a fan. Tommy and Huey should get their own division. Huey Fury. Huey Fury. We don't mention Huey Fury in these streams. I spent a half hour in a stream talking about him one day, and I was like, no, we ain't going back down that road again. We're going back on that. Fury looks like Valway's little brother. So at the time you picked Hay, but didn't think anything, but didn't know anything then. Yeah, like at the time I was going towards Hay as well, but like I didn't know boxing like the way I know it now. And like obviously, like it's easy for us to say like Fury would have won the fight. Like looking back now retrospectively, but at the time Fury was looking shaky. Like he'd just been dropped by Steve Cunningham. David Hay was a known quantity. I was picking Hay at the time, but like that, I didn't know as much about boxing back then as I do now. But it would have been an interesting fight. I mean, looking back now retrospectively, you would say probably that you would say I probably would go with Tyson Fury like that. Even back then, that Tyson Fury would have went with him to be Hay. But you can look back retrospectively now and say that. But at the time, I was like, probably Hay. You thought Hay would win before the press cut. Then you saw he was intimidated by Tyson. It's an interest, man. That fight would have been fun to watch. It would have been fun to watch. One more like, lads, and we get 50 likes. CGB boxing, you think Dubois on points? I think so as well. That's what I'm picking. I'm picking Dubois on points. When I do my weekly boxing league prediction, obviously I do that in a group. That's going to be what I'm going to be going. I'm going to be going with Dubois on points. We got Moonlight. Greetings. Big up. You're not covering Terry Harper. I might, man. I might. I've just not been as impressed with Harper in the past as I have with and like Rachel Ball. That's not that 51 likes, lads. Boom. Fuck you, Troll Network. There you go. 51 likes. Yes. 51 likes. There you go. But no, I've just not been as impressed with Terry Harper as I have with other fighters. I loved the fight with Natasha Jonas, so that was a good fight. I'll give him that, but it's not really. Nah, it wasn't really. I just didn't find her entertaining. So I do cover fighters who I think are entertaining though, and I just don't think she's entertaining. I will. Rachel Ball's not. You would say Rachel Ball probably not as good, but there's some like she's all right in terms of her looks. I don't really like redheads, but she just seems like a real standout girl. Like she seems real cool. So I'll be covering her fight definitely 100%. Just because someone is interested to see. When she was meant to be fighting Ebony Bridges, Jesus, that Ebony Bridges one. Damn, that woman just attracts the simps. Bentley needs to just stay switched on this time. He wins on points. Well, I have Bentley to win this fight on points. I have it in the prediction league this week to win it on points. He switched off halfway. You did have a draw, though. I've got Bentley to win this fight on points. Don't think he's stopping him. I have a UD Bentley in my prediction league. Troll Network, you're hilarious on Patreon. Yeah, he is. He's like, every time I see him pop up in the chat, I'm like, yeah, big up the Troll Network every time. Carl Frotz is just jealous. Man, Carl Frotz, right? One of my first, like, big videos that at the time, it was big for me. It hit like 5K views and I had like 80 odd likes. I mean, obviously now, like you see the like to dislike ratio on my videos. Like, I mean, like this stream has 50 odd likes and my Wilder, the 56 likes. Can we do 60? I know, but you got to keep these goals going, lads. You got to keep it going. Can we hit 60 likes on this now? Because I'm keeping going. I don't mind. I'm going for 60. I see someone in the chat put down, I think it was Troll Network. Yeah, there we go. Can we get 60 likes? Come on, guys. Yeah, we got to go and try and get 60 likes because we got 56 now, so we're only 4 off. There we go. Let's get to 60. The goal was to get to 50, though, so I got that goal. That's the main thing. But if we can get 60, I'm all G. Carl Froch is so jealous of Ward, won't let it go. But he won't, though. Like, he's just such a child. And, like, if he'd never rematched Kessler and beat Kessler, he'd still be the exact same way. He'd be shitting on Mikhail Kessler every minute he gets, every opportunity he gets. He'd be shitting on Mikhail Kessler. That's just the way Carl Froch is. He's just such a little, you know what. You know, he's so petty about these little things. You know, it's just so silly. It's just silly. Heffron will get KO'd round 2. I'd be amazed. I'd be very surprised. Hayes' best fight was against Harley Quinn. Yeah, I think that was when we all knew that Hayes, the sand in the hourglass was well and truly gone at that stage when he fought Harley Quinn. You know, 59 likes, one more like, and we get to 60. And I won't be begging I won't be saying, you know, let's go for 70. No, I'm quite content with 60 likes. I was quite content to get it to 50. There we go, bingo, 60 likes. There we go. Lads, Yous are fucking amazing. I love doing these streams. Even if I don't monetize them, I fucking love doing these streams. They're so much fun. You think Bentley will be better? I think Bentley's going to win this fight. Who would win? Joe Joyce versus Chisora? I think, no, Joyce, I think, would win. I do think Joyce would win. Yeah, there you go. 60 likes. No props. No props. Rachel Ball's 3-time world kickboxing champion. She makes a few little mistakes, though. Like, when I saw her against Shannon Courtney, she stands a little bit too, like, upright for my liking. You know, someone who's 5'2", and you're someone who's 5'9". You know, the way she just kind of stood and she wouldn't take a step back. She just stand and, put the earmuffs on. No, I was like, no, you can do a little bit better than that. No offense, but she just moved back because Shannon Courtney is as raw as anything. Froch is the same about Calzaghe. Well, he's only like that about Calzaghe because Calzaghe is just better. Simple as. Just had a better career, undefeated. Calzaghe would have stopped Carl Froch. He stopped Carl Froch. He's a legend. He is a legend. Bentley on points, gets knocked down, but much better in the fight this time. Yeah, Bentley going to win this fight on points, I reckon. You could legitimately see Canelo beating Baturviev in a year or so. He's a lot of miles on the clock. He's getting old. Do you know what, right? I thought that myself. That's exactly, I'm just watching the fight. That's exactly what I thought as well. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, he is getting older. He's had a few tough fights. I could easily see a situation where Canelo could go in there in a year's time and get the win. Genuinely, I was thinking that to myself. I was thinking, I probably could see that. The battle of the jabs, the first round. Yeah, it is. It's definitely the battle of the jabs. Like it's hard for me because I'm trying to look at this, look at the chat, and look at the fight at the same time. But definitely, Canelo, in a year's time, with more miles on the clock, 100% could see that. Am I the only that says this? But Zudo is one of the best fighters today. I've always rated Zudo Ramirez. Ever since I first watched him fight, I've always thought Zudo Ramirez, good fighter. He's a good fighter. He is. He's a very good fighter. I think maybe he's made some questions. You see, he can be a bit boring. That's one thing you got to say about Ramirez. He can be a bit boring. That doesn't do him the world of good. He went through a stage where he was knocking people out left, right, and center, but he injured his hand. And since then, they've been a lot more sporadic. And when he's going the distance on points, he's winning, but he's just staying behind the jab, doing X, Y, and Z. It's just not looking pleasing on the eyes. Do you know what sort of way? So I like Ramirez. I do think he's good. I think he's definitely better at light heavyweight. He needs to be up here now. He's a big guy, very big guy. But we'll see how this management thing he's doing himself is going, because he's promoting this show. And I did hear they're fighting on December 19th. I'm glad. I'm glad. What does Ramirez do at 175? Is he not meant to be fighting for the WBC? Oh, WBC. WBC. He can do work at 175. Definitely. It's a division with sharks in it, man. It is. The division with sharks in it. Some good true shots staying the first round. A lot of jabs. That's what I noticed when I was looking at it. Yes, Ramirez is fighting next month. He's not going to be fighting anybody good now, Nick, but he'll be fighting someone next month for definite. I can guarantee he's his own show, and he'll definitely be fighting someone next month. Very cagey. So you see Heffron just lunge in there, but the shots peeled over his head from Bentley. You get Bentley the first round. Okay. Oh, good right hand from Bentley. That was a great right hand. I don't think Heffron's as buzzed as Bentley thinks he is. Don't think he's as buzzed as Bentley thinks he is. And getting on the jab again. But that was a good little counter right hand. A very good little counter right hand there. By that. Oh, and another good right hand. Heffron getting tagged in here now in this second round. Bentley coming to life a bit. 100 likes. Maybe, but that would mean me staying on for a while longer. Like, I've been on for an hour and 45 minutes and I've got 60 likes. So if I want to get another 40, I'm gonna have to be going for a while longer. But you never know. What's on the MTK card? It's a Frank Warren card on BT Sport. and it's the main event. It's Denzel Bentley versus Mark Heffron. Man, Mark Heffron has no defense. He is literally not moving his head one iota. He is getting it with right hand after right hand after right hand. They're not devastating right hands, but he is just, the right hand is landing, like Denzel Bentley, and some jabs landing in there as well. Denzel Bentley finding a home for it. Yeah, it's the rematch. It is indeed. It is the rematch. So far, it seems like it's a 2 rounds. Heffron buzzes. Man, if Heffron doesn't sort out that head movement, he's going to end up getting stopped. And I don't want him to get stopped because I have Denzel Bentley winning this fight on points in my league. Oh, look at that. The guy is just not moving his head once. I've counted about 5 right hands, and it's not like he's really, they're right hands that could easily be telegraphed or blocked, but he's just not moving his head at all. And as I said, if he keeps getting hit with these, then it's going to be a short night. He's going to end up getting something. There's swelling under his eye already. Yeah, there is. Oh, that's bad swelling under the right eye of Mark Heffron. Some bad swelling there. Who wins, Tua or Frazier? Frazier. I got to give that one to Frazier. But that was definitely, I mean, if the first round was 10-9 to Bentley, the second round was definitely 10-9 to Bentley. And yeah, that's me. You're getting some snippets of G-Man commentating. So, I'm commentating on the fights. But it was a right hand definitely that caused that. Yeah, the eye is that eye looks bad. He's getting hit with right hand after right hand. Yeah, Heffron's eye is fucked. Yeah, that eye is going to be a problem. And that swelling is bad, man. If you're swelling that bad after 2 rounds, that's not going to end well. That is not going to end well. Canada's accomplished more than Froch. I don't know if I'd agree with that necessarily now. Can's accomplished a lot at 140. Froch done well with what little talent he had. I'm not saying he was a bad fighter, but he definitely wasn't. He was an overachiever, in my opinion, Carl Froch. In my opinion, anyway, Carl Froch achieved more than he should have. You mean Cherry Chin Can? Yeah. Had a better career. I think Froch definitely had a better career. Like, Can got the bigger fights, but he lost most of them. I think Froch definitely had a better. Tommy Hagler, no exception. Eubanks Senior, Lennox Lewis. I'm reading the comment. Am I staying up to watch Brook? No, man. No, I pick and choose. I've never been someone who's good. It's like I can stay up all night if I want to, but I've never been someone who does it a lot. I'm not very good at it. I'm not actually if you can be good at it, but I don't do it too regularly. I'm going to be watching that fight first thing in the morning. I'll be getting up early, about like 7 or so, and just watch it then. Salute to Nate and salute to G-Man and the chat. Of course, every single time, man. Every single time. Salute to G-Man and the chat. Froch had a granite chin and determination. That was what Carl Froch had, amongst anything else. Amongst anything else, that's what Carl Froch had. He granite chin, he determination. And yeah, that was pretty much it, man. Lads, I think I'm going to end this here. I think I'm going to call it quits here. What I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to watch the end of this fight. I was just looking at it there. I'm going to watch the end of this fight. I'm going to do a post-fight on it. And I will talk to you probably tomorrow. I ain't going to monetize this live stream, which is good. I ain't going to live stream this, which is good. But, what's that? Hate to say it, G-Man, but going to be a corner stoppage with that eye. Probably is. That eye is bad. And it's only the third round now, but that eye is bad. That eye is bad, man. But, and Heffron is just his defense is all over the place. He's getting countered to death. I'm probably going to call this quits here. I ain't gonna monetize this stream. I'm just getting some of these streams, right? I love letting my hair down, and I definitely ain't gonna monetize this. Just gonna leave it as it is. So peeps, right? I'm gonna leave it here, right? I'm gonna call this one quits here. Big up to everyone. We done 1 hour and 50, basically. So we done well. We got some people in here. We had a good laugh. I will talk to you, right? I will see you probably after this fight. Covering some fights tomorrow. And definitely 100%, I do too. So I really don't want this fight to go to. I really don't want this corner stopping the fight, right? I really don't. Cheers, G-Man. Yeah, appreciate it, lads, right? So I will probably do another live stream on Sunday, as I so often do. And definitely pretty much Sunday, Monday, I'll do my second live stream. So people, a big all yous up in the chat. Everyone, big up, big up, big up. I'll talk to you, peeps. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy this fight. I'll talk to you. Peace.